Please welcome to the stage Tyne Johnson, Ahyiana Angel, Elisha Greenwell, and Anndrea Moore. Come on up.
All right. How are you guys doing? All right. So, a part of us that wanted to talk to you guys today about building your own community, whether it be black, white, whatever it may be. Our communities are really important to us, and this panel is really just to focus on the intentionality of building online communities. I'm the founder of the Black Bay Area, and how I got started was that I had an idea in my head that, media in the Bay Area kind of talked about my own community as a Bay Area native, not in the most positive way, and I didn't see the content that I would like to see reflected online in the newspapers or even on the radio that really reflected the voice of the real Bay Area. And so right now we have three amazing women who've created their own online communities, and we're gonna get started with Anndrea. And how did you first start Black Tech Women?
Sure. So again, my name is Anndrea Moore, and I founded the Black Tech Women community in March of last year. And the reason why I started is I have done most of my career in tech, starting at Google, and I actually started with two other black women. And so it was nice, we were all on the sales team together working really hard. And then after 2 years, the other two women I started with left the industry completely. They did consulting, they started working at an airline, and I was by myself. And then I went to business school, came back to the Bay Area, and once again, was the only black woman on my team working at Apple. And I said, okay, I know we're out here somewhere, even though I'm the only one, and so it's important to bring us all together. So I started with a Facebook group. I invited some of my friends who worked at Apple and at Google, and then they slowly started inviting their friends, and we really grew by word of mouth for the first 6 months. And now we're a member community of 3,100 members. We've hosted events with Google, with eBay, with Facebook, Instagram, and so many other tech communities that are tech companies that are interested in investing in our community and creating spaces for us to connect.
So, Elisha, how did you grow the Black Joy Parade? Elisha does this wonderful parade every year in Oakland, where her focus of her event is really not so much online, but online supports her growing idea of really creating Black joy and the experience in Oakland. So how did you come to that idea, and how did you kind of carry it out?
Hi, everybody. First, can I have everyone stand up for a second and shake it out a little bit? I'll do it with you. You guys are very stale right now. You're just wiggle around a little bit. There you go. Lunch is coming. It's happening. Okay. I think that one of the things that's important to me, important to Black Joy Parade, is exactly what I just had you do. It's really hard to build a community without having energy yourself. I think a lot of people want to say they want to start communities, but they're actually not super passionate about what they're doing, and or they don't display that passion. So much of getting people on board of what you want to do, whether that's Black Joy, whether that's Black in Tech, whether it's this pizza group you want to start, right, is actually embodying the spirit that you want to create and embodying the thing you want to put out in the world. So Black Joy Parade was an idea that I came up with after feeling like the majority of the times that the Black community gathers in mass is because we're mourning. It's because we're fighting something and we're resisting something. And I was like, that's a shame. Like, we should be gathering in mass because we're awesome just the way we are. Because we're beautiful and we're creative and we're innovative, and we don't need to gather just to be fighting against something. We should gather because we just deserve celebration in and of itself. And I took that into my heart, and I believe it full-heartedly. I still believe it today. And I think sharing that idea with other people and truly being passionate about it and truly feeling like I had so much Black joy in my own life to celebrate was how I gathered the community. I started also with just a Facebook group, but mostly I called my sister and was like, do you want to throw a parade with me? And then I called Tyne, do you want to throw a parade with me? And then one by one, more and more people came. And what I thought would be, a couple thousand people turned into 14,000 people. For the first year event. And again, it's like about you actually believing in it and putting that energy out into the world. And our next one's February 24th of this coming year. So I hope to see you guys all there. But it all started with just one person's energy, and then that being contagious in Oakland. So
Thank you. So Ahyiana Angel has started the Switch, Pivot, or Quit podcast, and it's just about giving women basically career advice, but through her medium is really podcasting. So can you elaborate on how you got started in podcasting, and why did you choose particularly that medium?
So like Tyne said, I'm Ahyiana Angel, and I'm also the founder of Multimedia, which is a podcast network where we specifically curate content for women. So when I got into the podcasting space, a lot of it was because I had created this platform on Instagram, but I wanted a way to speak to my community that I was developing in a deeper way, more extensive, just have different conversations as well. So I created the Switch, Pivot, or Quit podcast, and from just seeing the response of how women really were looking for creators in the podcasting space that looked like them, felt like them. I had women that would tag me all the time on different Instagram posts where people are looking for voices similar to theirs. And I actually had this one young lady, she said, I was so glad that I found your podcast at the time that I did. And she actually works at Apple. And she said, because I was looking for something at this time that I was going through. And if I heard one more middle-aged white man tell me that the answer to all of my problems was waking up earlier in the morning and drinking a green juice, I'm going to scream. And so I was like, okay, there's something to this, and people are looking for this. And I recognized when I got into the podcasting space that there was a lack of diversity and there was a lack of women and our voices just being amplified in this space. So I wanted to be a part of, I guess, solving where I saw there to be a slight problem. And instead of just identifying the problem, I wanted to say, okay, what can I do with that, and how can I take this and make it bigger and sort of like really be a part of the solution? And that's where Multimedia came in.
Amazing. So one part of the challenge of building your own community is really, I would say for me, because the majority of my community is really online and in person, is really keeping the content and the voice of your platform authentic. How do you guys continue to grow but still maintain the authenticity of your platforms where it's relatable to the people who support you?
I can get started with that. So the Black Tech Women Facebook group is a closed community. And so literally me and my team are approving people. We have a wait list right now of maybe over 1,000, but that was a distinct choice that I made, that I wanted it to be closed, and I wanted it to be explicitly for Black women who are currently working in tech, because there's other organizations right now that are trying to get people into tech and get Black people into tech, but my community is for people who are already in there. And so that was, kind of distinct choices that I made. In terms of the authenticity and what we're sharing within the group, it's great. Like, the community shares different job opportunities for advancement. Recently, last week, we highlighted 12 Black women product managers who are literally killing it. So we have someone who's producing content for us that we're sharing, as well as different articles that we're reading and what we're staying up to date on, different events that we're going to, and partnering with each other to attend. It's really been a great community, and I think because it's closed, people feel a little bit more comfortable sharing their perspective, sharing their challenges, and just really being engaged. I think if it was open, we wouldn't have that authenticity, right? Because there's not a lot of safe spaces where you can really be yourself. So I think that distinction has made it great for us.
Yeah, I mean, my platform is really open, and so when I make a mistake, people really come for me. Like, they're coming for my whole platform. They're taking me down, So I have to really be very, very particular, because my platform is called the Black Bay Area, but if you're part of the Black community, our voices are very diverse and unique. And so everyone's experience is not monolithic, but we all have different voices and different journeys. And so with that in mind, Elisha, how do you navigate through a lot of the concerns that the Black community feels like when you have the Black Joy Parade, maybe it's only representing one voice or one demographic of the Black community?
Yeah, I mean, this is really specific to the question about allies. So when we first started the journey of Black Joy Parade, people were like, Black Joy sounds exclusive. Like, well, it is. It's an inclusive event. It's an inclusive movement that anybody is welcomed, but know what you're coming to celebrate. You're coming to celebrate Black joy, and you need to come with the respect of that. So if you were at the event last year, and you guys will all attest to this, that it was people from all walks of life and all different colors, but everybody came with the same spirit of what we were there to celebrate, and that's really important to me. There's a lot of events that are like, literally, the point of them is inclusivity. The point of them is to celebrate diversity. The point of this is to celebrate Black joy, and we're very, very focused on that. And everything we curate is local from the Black community. All the partners we bring on board, even all the sponsors we bring on board. The first question I ask is, what are you going to do for the Black community, instead of how much money you're going to give me, because that reciprocity is key into making sure that we don't sell out the community, right? And that they're actually benefiting and gaining more joy through this experience, and it doesn't just become another space for people to gather. So that's something that I personally, as the founder, am constantly curating, constantly keeping my eye on. It's really hard as you grow. There's a lot of people who want to get involved for the wrong reasons, and you have to be bold enough and brave enough to sort of put your foot down, which will benefit you, I think, and the organization in the long run, but can be really hard as a beginning organization who needs money and needs support and needs eyeballs. But know that it's a long-term investment, and if you truly believe in that commitment, you'll stick to it, and it won't be an issue for you.
And for you, how do you deal with keeping your podcast authentic? Because I'm sure with your media group, it's going into a different direction than your podcast. Right. How do you still maintain that audience but still grow into a bigger audience as you're evolving?
You know what? I didn't even really notice, to be honest with you guys, that I was being authentic until I started reading the reviews for my original podcast, Switch, Pivot, or Quit. That word kept coming up, and I was like, oh, so I'm authentic. Okay, I like this. Okay. But, I really had to work hard on understanding how I wanted to show up in the world, in the business world, and everything, because I come from a very corporate background. I'm a former publicist at the National Basketball Association, and there, everything is like very, very top-notch performance at a very high level. You're always buttoned up. It's just, there's this expectation. So when I branched out on my own to sort of like freelance and do my own thing, I had to realize that I didn't represent them anymore. I represented myself, and I had to understand how I wanted that to look. So for me, it's a conscious effort to be authentic, but then again, it's not. It's a conscious effort in the way that I'm just being myself, and that resonates to be relatable to a lot of people. But at the same time, I'm not. I'm also just paying attention that I'm not representing a larger entity, but I am conscious of my brand. I am conscious of my brand and how I want the brand to grow as a company. And I think that one of the best things that I do is I call myself the chief encourager. So I promote positivity. I promote people supporting other people without having an agenda, without feeling like there is something that they need to gain from it. So I think just giving that type of energy out allows me to receive it as well. And people know what to expect when they come into my community and in my space.
That's amazing. And so for me, as a growing platform, when I first started, everyone thought, oh, she's crazy. The world is going topsy-turvy, and I thought I didn't have a voice. But I started with Instagram just to kind of test it out, and from last year to now, we're at 14,000. And so don't ever think that your voice is too small to start your platform. And if you want to start a platform that's targeting a specific community, you also have to think about how are you going to involve allies, because allies are going to ask, how come I can't be a part of a community? I know for the Black Bay Area, I started with the intentionality that only Black people were only going to follow the page, and boy, was I wrong, because I saw other voices come in because we're an open platform, and so that means anyone could contribute, and how to moderate that voice, because our pretense really with the Black Bay Area is really elevating the Black voice and being authentically Black in the Bay. And so how did I go about that without trying to disparage people or being rude? That's something I'm always thinking about as a founder. How about you, Anndrea? How do you go about with allies and partnering?
So when I started Black Tech Women, like probably the first 3 months, I received a lot of pushback. So why isn't women in tech? Why isn't it women of color? Why isn't it Black in tech? And the reason why I was specifically focused on Black women is because we're the most underrepresented group at tech companies across all roles. So engineering, marketing, product management, even in HR, like we are very underrepresented. We also receive the least amount of funding. We're also least represented in the VC community, so actually writing the checks, right? So that's why I explicitly wanted to target on my group. But then people were like, well, what about allies? Like, we want to help out. Where there are specific ways you can help out, right? So you can help create spaces for us. So, we're not making a lot of money. So when we have companies, organizations come to us to say, hey, we want to partner with you, we're really explicit in asking, well, what are you trying to get from this? Are you looking to recruit our members? Are you looking to just be an advocate and help share that space with us? And then what are we trying to get out of it, right? So that's a way that we activate allies, knowing that we still want to have our own exclusive space where we can share with each other. And so that's the way we've done it, to have them support our community for events, content, et cetera.
Ahyiana, because your demographic is really, with Switch, Pivot, or Quit, is really for women, how do you try to tailor to a male demographic that maybe listens to your podcast, or diverse demographics that may be listening to your podcast? Is that an issue? Has that been an issue for you?
It hasn't, because I don't. I don't cater to men, but I understand that there are men that follow me on Instagram, and you guys can all follow Switch, Pivot, or Quit. And I know that they're there, but you can still receive the information, especially if it applies to you, but that doesn't have to mean that I'm talking to you. When media produces any and everything that they produce all the time, they're not always talking to me, but I can still receive it if I feel like it's applicable to me. But I do have men. I actually had a man slide in my DMs recently, the Switch, Pivot, or Quit DMs, and he said, I know that your platform is not geared toward me, but I want to let you know that I heard you on this other podcast, and I was hooked. I listened to all your shows. I have a new podcast I just launched under Multimedia called A Millie, and it is catered toward women founders. These are all women who have amassed $1 million plus or something in business. So the podcast is called A Millie. He loves it just like all the other women that are listening to it. And he said, I love everything that you're producing. Just keep doing what you're doing. And at the end of every podcast episode, I always say, keep killing it. That's exactly what he said to me at the end of his message. So he didn't feel like, like he was put off to the side. He felt included enough to even send me a message, but I didn't have to actively include him. It's just you take from it what you want if you see something that you need there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I understand that. I get positive messages, hate messages. I get everything, of the gamut. But I think it's really about being resilient, because running a community is really not for the faint of heart. You're going to get everything. I get emails all the time that say despicable things, and I just have to keep the ball moving and keeping it pushing. So lastly, what are some pros and cons you think that people want to be mindful of approaching building their own community, whether it be an event, a podcast, or maybe a Facebook or Instagram community? And then after we do this question, we'll take some questions from the audience.
Can we start?
Yeah.
You want to start? Well, the Black Joy Parade's an event. It's a parade, exactly what it sounds like. So there's a lot of cons to trying to throw a parade and shutting down the streets of Oakland. The government is challenging to work with. So when you think about who you need to make your community thrive, be selective about the kind of community you want and the sort of places you'll need to navigate. It's an open event as well, which brings the challenges of inclusivity, making sure everyone feels welcome, but the idea is focused. And then it's just hard to, when you're starting out, you don't have money and resources, it's hard to sort of gather support, and that takes a lot of work. But I think, like being an entrepreneur in any other space, you got to be, if you're committed to it, you're committed to it, and you'll do what makes it happen. The pros, I very much believe that energy is contagious, and you put an idea in the world, and people, if it's good and it resonates, they'll give you so much energy back, and it'll just fuel you in all other areas of your life. Black Joy Parade is one of many things that I do, but I actually feel like the joy I get from it, the joy of seeing other people experience it and be happy, actually makes the other things that I do in my life much easier. So know that building community is also selfish. Like, there is so much love that you're going to get back from that that I didn't expect in the beginning, but now I've sort of come to really cherish and depend on. So,
Ahyiana, how about you?
I would say I just want to offer a tip about building a community. It's that, when you get started, you can't expect extreme results and everyone to flock to what you're doing. They say, oh, you build it and they'll come. That's not true. They won't. They have to know that it's there.
Yeah.
And so I would just encourage you to don't worry about if you have a niche and it's very specific. There's always going to be someone that buys into your niche. You just have to let them know that you're there to build that community for them. And also cater to and nurture the people that are currently in your community, no matter how small it is. Even if it's 5 people, cater to those people and really nurture those relationships because they value that and it will continue to grow in its own time.
Amazing. And Anndrea, one last tidbit.
Yeah, sure. So I think I'll do one con and one pro. So one con is that even within the community, you have, people who have a lot of expectations, right? They want you to start a podcast. They want you to look at their resume. They want you, to do 1,000,001 things. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to say explicitly, we're going to focus on these things. That's totally okay. So feel free to push back. And then a pro, I think for me, what I've taken away from this experience is that I really love meeting new people and feel like I'm creating this space. So when I get the DMs and the emails saying, thank you so much, I was able to connect with this person, or you highlighted this woman and she reached out, and just getting that positive feedback just gives me energy, even on days where I'm stressed out or tired, it just keeps me pushing. So that's the pro that I get from it. It's been fun.
All right, we're going to take one question. I think we have time for one or two.
One question.
Wayne, did you have a question? No?
He was
Okay.
telling you only have
Just
one.
tell me 1 minute? Okay.
She has a question in the back.
Do you have she has a question in the back. Yay. 2 minutes, okay.
Hi.
This is for all the ladies on the panel, and thank you guys for coming today. Where did you start out in this industry, and what inspired you to become entrepreneurs?
Well, I'm not an entrepreneur quite yet. I'm a brokepreneur. Is that? Can you be a brokepreneur? I don't want to speak that into my life, but I still have a 9-to-5. I think everyone, with the exception of Ahyiana, is still working their 9-to-5. So this came out of me just having a passion project and wanting to build out that passion project. But I didn't know how big the voice was going to be of that project, so it kind of just rolled itself over into events and really a safe space for Black people connecting in the Bay Area.
I started off in PR. I've done entertainment PR from LA to New York. I mentioned where I used to work. Did that for a number of years, and basically I started feeling like I needed a switch, pivot, or quit, hence the name for the podcast. And I wanted to create something that would have aided me when I was going through my transition period. So I ended up transitioning from doing sports entertainment PR. I wrote a book. It was traditionally published, and that then led me to where I am now because people were hearing about my journey, inspired by it, and it took me on a whole nother path to where I am right now.
I'm in advertising. I've been in advertising. I went to Academy of Art over here. I now work at Facebook, a brand strategist, which actually helped fuel Black Joy Parade. When I came with the idea, they were the first to sort of raise their hand and support me. I don't have any plans to leave anytime soon, but that means I have 3 full-time jobs. And I actually don't think of Facebook as my 9-to-5 and Black Joy Parade as my passion project. I think of them equally as both passion projects and jobs, if you will. So for me, it's like a sliding scale. At any day, it's 90% Black Joy Parade and 10% Facebook, or vice versa. It really depends on what where my heart is and what is needed of me to make sure I fulfill the task of both organizations. And I encourage you to think of it that way. If you think of something as passion project only, it'll be easy to give it up. It'll be really easy to say, oh, I don't have time for that. Think of your passion projects as equally as important as the thing that pays you, because eventually, if that's the thing that can pay you, you move over the other way. So.
Yeah, and just quickly, I started my career in marketing research before I entered the tech industry in sales at Google, and have hopped around quite a few times. So I am still working full-time and then also doing Black Tech Women full-time.
And for me, I work at Adderall, and I get people hired. So I work in recruiting. So if you want a job, or if you're especially a technical person, come talk to me. Do we have time for one more question, or no? Okay, one more question. One question.
Hi, Ty.
Hi.
So I'm a part of many of these online communities, and because of these online communities, it has really helped me propel forward in my career and in my career transition. So as a community member, what can we do besides the DMs, besides the thank you, besides of, hey, Ty, how are you doing? What can we do to help you all keep the community thriving and going?
I mean, for me, I think the biggest problem where we're not advancing is volunteers and also getting paid. Like, people want to get paid to be a resource for graphics, for designs, for events. And people think events are like, hey, you just throw an event, put out some chairs. And I learned the hard way last year. I tried to do a lot of events by myself, and it was very, very hard not having the funding or the cushion to really scale. And so I do need funding. I do need to scale. I need to figure it out quickly, as there are going to be more needs of the platform.
I think one of the number one things that you can do that can even help her and all of us on a grassroots level is tell people. If you like what someone is doing, tell everybody. Like for me, my podcast, a lot of it works off of reviews as well. So I always tell my community, if you like what you're hearing, go and leave a review on iTunes, because that helps me. So if you are leaving reviews, if you're sharing different things like that, that helps people without you having to spend anything.
I have two things. I mean, one, show up. You know, like people throw events and have groups and forums, and I know we're tired and we have a lot going on, but if you're supportive of that community, physically show up for things. The other thing I'll say is that a lot of people want to volunteer skills they don't have. So they'll be like,
That is true.
I want
That
to
is
try
very
out
true.
photography. You're like, you don't know how to take pictures. All of us, all of you have a skill set that you've probably nurtured over time through your career or through your side or your family. Maybe it was something a skill you were born into. That's the skill we need. We actually need people to bring something that they have expertise in, and everything from like coding to graphic design to photography to if you're just really good people person and you can go out and network for someone. Those are the kind of skills that we all need that right now we just don't have the money to pay people for. And so I would just encourage everyone to think about, like, what am I good at? What could I offer? And go and actually offer those things the same way you might offer your 9-to-5 is really helpful.
Yeah, just to build upon that really quickly. So I think that's a super specific point, because if you reach out and say, hey, I want to help out, I want to volunteer, I think in my head, I'm like, okay, there's a million and one things. I don't really know where to put you. But if you say, like, I'm good at marketing or I'm good at designing a website or whatever it is, then it's like, oh, yes, I can put you in this spot. I think a second piece, too, is if you are able to kind of help us build relationships with your companies, things like that, that just helps, right? Like, to have someone inside who can be our advocates just helps us create more events, create more spaces. That's always needed.
Yeah. So we're going to go really, really quickly because it's time for us to get off the stage. Thank you guys for really allowing us to really talk to you guys about our communities, and hopefully we've empowered you guys to really participate or build your own community. You could follow me at the Black Bay Area on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, but Instagram is really where the audience is at. You can also look us up at www.theblackbayarea.org.
Ahyiana Angel, again, you can find everything on switchpivotorquit.com or mayziemedia.com, and that's MAYZIE media.
Elisha Greenwell, you can Google Black Joy Parade. You'll find it. The second one is February 24th, 2019. I hope to see you guys there.
Woohoo. You can find Black Tech Women at Black Tech Women across all platforms.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.